Welcome to the Diary of the Pan-African Preacher. There is an African proverb that says, the earth is not ours. We share it with our children, our ancestors, and the other beings that walk upon it. One of the most enduring responsibilities I have, carried throughout more than 45 years of ministry as a Pan-African preacher, has been explaining to many of my African sisters and brothers on the continent why Africans in the diaspora speak of Africa with such passion, longing, and emotion. For some, this can seem puzzling. I have met brothers and sisters from Zimbabwe, Sudan, South Africa, and other nations who have endured poverty, political instability, injustice, and inequality. Their deepest aspirations has often been to leave Africa in search of security and opportunity. Yet I, together with many whom I represent in the African diaspora, have spent much of my life trying to build bridges back to Africa. While they dream of getting out, we dream of coming home. At first glance, these two perspectives appear irreconcilable, but they are simply different chapters of the same African story. It is sometimes almost impossible to explain the deep wound left by the transatlantic slave trade. The greatest theft was not merely the theft of African bodies, it was the theft of identity. Millions were violently separated from their families, languages, cultures, names, spiritual traditions, and ancestral lands. The Middle Passage did not simply transport enslaved Africans across the Atlantic. It attempted to sever the bonds that connect a people to their history and humanity. The generations that followed inherited more than memories. They inherited trauma. For centuries, our ancestors were denied their dignity, treated as commodities, bought and sold as chattel, and told repeatedly that they were nobodies. Yet, beneath the weight of oppression, the memory of Africa never completely disappeared. It survived in songs, prayers, rhythms, stories, family traditions, and an enduring hope that one day the broken circle would be made whole again. That is why Africa means more than geography to the diaspora. It represents identity. It represents belonging. It represents the possibilities of recovering something that history sought to erase. At the same time, those of us in the diaspora must resist the temptation to romanticize Africa. Africa is not one story. It is a continent of extraordinary diversity, resilience, creativity, struggle, and hope. Alongside breathtaking beauty are painful realities that cannot be ignored. Alongside ancient wisdom are contemporary challenges demanding courageous leadership. The psalmist reminds us that the earth is the Lord's and all that is in it. Africa belongs ultimately to God, not to politicians, colonizers, or even to our own cherished memories. It is a sacred trust to be stewarded for future generations. Our calling is not simply to remember Africa, but to participate in God's work of healing, reconciliation, and renewal, so that one day the many stories of Africa would be woven together in one shared future. Ashe.